So, Fabrizio, nice to have you here. I
My
hope you
pleasure.
have a good day and it's not so stressful. But I guess at the moment in the transfer window, you have only busy days, right?
Yes. Always busy days, but thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure. And yes, many things happening. This is the most crazy part of the transfer window with many clubs moving. So it's normal to be busy, but I love it. So no problem.
Do you have the feeling that especially this transfer window is more stressful than, or is it the most stressful transfer window ever?
Yes, I would say yes. The last one, honestly, last summer was incredible too in August because July and June was a normal one, but in August was crazy because we had Romelu Lukaku, Jack Grealish, many things happening, and then of course Messi and Ronaldo in few days. So it was incredible to have these names in few weeks. So August was really incredible. This window has been pretty crazy at the beginning, I would say, with Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe stories to be resolved immediately. And this is what happened. So I think it was always also very good to see what happened with Darwin Núñez and Liverpool, Tchouaméni, so some interesting sagas. Now it's a particular moment, but I'm sure that at the beginning of July, it will be crazy with many clubs jumping into it, like Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, and many others.
Do you have the feeling that especially this transfer window is maybe it's starting to get more heavy in like June? Because you said last transfer window we had the big deals in August, and maybe because of the World Cup it's now a bit earlier.
Yes. The World Cup is 100% a factor in this market. It's a factor because many players want to resolve their future as soon as possible. Many managers want to have the team ready in August because they will play many games in August and then many games in September, October, and November before the World Cup. So to get ready with the team as soon as possible. So timing is a factor, and the World Cup is a big factor. So this is why I think many top strikers wanted to move as soon as possible, and this is what happened with, as I mentioned, Darwin, Haaland, and Mbappe, and many other stories. But also there are some clubs that need some time. And so I mentioned Chelsea, for example, with the takeover of the club. Of course, this is a different timing. Manchester United with Erik ten Hag as new manager. Barcelona, because of financial reasons, they will take some time before jumping into the market, but they will be on it. So I think, yes, the mission will be for all top clubs to have the team almost ready at the beginning of August.
So talking about you, what is your daily routine in the transfer window at the moment?
It's not an easy routine because I wake up in the morning, it's like 10, something like that. It depends on the days, but usually it's around 10. And then I start to call people, text people, send messages, try to get as much information as I can. So it's not easy because you have to manage a big network to call a lot of people every single day. But to be honest, I love it. And so I spend the whole day with my phone, calling people, texting people, receiving news, checking news. That is the most important part and the most stressful part sometimes, because you want to say something, but before sharing, it's important to check and to call other people to make sure you're sharing something accurate. And so this is the process for me. Then I'm sharing everything on my platforms, so on social media platforms, everywhere I want to share something or to say something. And then for me, there is the night that is my favorite moment because I can relax a bit, answer some email, understand what I'm going to do the following day, understand how is the moment of the market. So I try to have some feelings on the general situation on the market. And then I go to sleep around 4 a.m., 5 a.m. till 10. So it's around 5 hours sleep scheduled for me.
But it will be easier when the transfer window is over.
Yes. It's easier to manage it. Honestly, the market has changed. 10 years ago was like that you say, okay, on 1st of September, the market is closed and see you in January. Now it's not like this because even in October, in November, in December, many things are happening. Contracts of the players that doesn't want to extend the contract. And so when you have this kind of the situation, you have to manage everything, even if it's October or November and not August or January. So the window is always open. It's really always open. But at the same point, of course, it's more relaxful in September, October, of course.
And what do you do to get to your informations in the transfer window?
For me, the most important part is to have the direct contact with people. So what I do is to text all the people I know. I have like a list so I'm not going to forget anything. And so I send messages. I send WhatsApp messages. I send Instagram messages. It depends, because now this is evolving. Now, 10 years ago, it was like only meeting with people in the streets. I was going around the city all day to meet with new people. Now with social media, life is completely different, and it's easier to get in touch with my phone and these kind of things. And then I'm calling people, because the direct contact is something really, really important to receive new information, to check information, to have a feeling of what they're telling you. And then at the end, I'm calling different sources. It depends, because it's really case by case. But usually I try to call as many sources as possible on a single transfer, because I want to make sure I'm sharing something accurate. And then I have some sources, but it's just like normal life. You have your friends that you trust 100%, and your friends that maybe you trust 40% or 50% or 30%. And so you try to check the news with other people. And then I have some sources that I trust 100%, top sources that I don't need to check anything. I know them since 8, 9, 10 years. And so I have no problem in sharing what they tell me, because I know that it's 100% accurate.
So when the right people text you, then the famous "here we go" will come.
Yes, it's also easier. It's easier for me, because I know that something is really happening. They are not trying to use me. And so we have big relationship. This is really important for me, to have the relationship with the person, and not just with the president, agent, director, or player, but with the person behind the football player, or the football director, or the football agent. For me, it's really important to have a relationship, because it means that they will remember you when it's the moment. If you text them only when you need something, or you want to share some news, it's not easy to receive information, trust me. But if you text them even in September, in October, for example, on Christmas Day, I spent like the day before Christmas, I spent like 10 hours, 11 hours to call all my friends in football, and just to say hi, not asking for any information, but because I know that they will remember of me one day. So it's important to have this kind of relationship, yes.
Do you have one transfer in mind where you got fooled by some people?
Yes, of course. It happened, and it will always happen. Now it's difficult, honestly, because I check with many people, but it happened. But honestly, it was not fault of who told me, I think, because they told me the truth. Sometimes you have to be careful, for example, with free agents. Free agents are really, really complicated topic, because they can say, okay, I'm joining, for example, Real Madrid or Chelsea or Liverpool, and then in 24 hours, their wife called them and tell them, okay, no, we change our mind. We have to go back to Spain, for example. This happened, for example, with David Silva, former Man City player. It was a done deal with Lazio, done deal. So he was going to have the medical the following day. Everything was agreed. It was just to be announced on the social media pages of Lazio. And then what happened is that his wife called him and told him, we want to go back. The whole family wants to go back to Spain. So let's go to Real Sociedad. And in 24 hours, it changed it. But it was not by lying by me, but it was just telling the truth. So transfer market is crazy. It's a jungle. So sometimes it happened. Yes.
So from the current transfer window, which deal which is already completed is your favorite one? Which deal is the one where you are the most excited about?
I have to say Erling Haaland to Man City, because I know how complicated has been this deal. I've been working on this one for many months, because many clubs wanted him in England, in Spain, in different countries, in Germany too, with Bayern. So it was a crazy deal behind the scenes, a really crazy one. And I had the chance to work on this deal on every single detail. And so I still remember when it was here we go for Manchester City. For me, it was really huge. I had the feeling, okay, it's going to be maybe something historical. When you discuss about these players like Erling, I still think that he can become one of the best players in the history of the game. And so to share a breaking news on him was something really, really important. So my favorite one has been Erling Haaland, yes.
And what do you think about the Bundesliga transfer window and about Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich?
Sadio Mane to Bayern is a fantastic one. Honestly, I think they did a masterpiece, because the transfer fee for 32 million euros with Sam Edons is a very good one for a fantastic player like Sadio Mane, with his experience, with his skills, with his qualities. And he's a fantastic player for the dressing room too. And this is not a detail when you're in top clubs. So top signing. I think Bayern are doing very well. Also, Gravenberch sometimes is underrated when we speak about transfers of this summer, but Gravenberch is a top talent. And maybe in a few years, we will say that transfer fee was incredible for a player like Gravenberch. Mazraoui, a very good signing. So I think Bayern are doing very well. And then Borussia Dortmund, I'm in love with their strategy, how they act on the market. They already signed like 6 or 7 players. They were really fast on Niklas Süle, who is a top signing, on Karim Adeyemi, who is a player that I really, really like, and I'm sure would be a top talent for Dortmund. Haller is a very good signing. He scored a lot of goals in Champions League. So their strategy has been simply perfect. They lost Erling, of course, but the strategy was the best one, in my opinion, at the moment to replace a top player like him. So I think in Bundesliga, they have a different kind of strategy. I am in Italy, for example, and here the clubs are so slow. Many clubs have not announced any single signing. And in Bundesliga, it seems to be the end of August. So, the timing is completely different. And this is why the level is completely different, honestly.
And now we have a new rumor about Cristiano Ronaldo, who's maybe joining also Bayern Munich. What do you think about it?
No, at the moment, I'm told that the situation is still quiet. Then we will see, never say never in the market. After what happened last summer with Cristiano and Messi, never say never. But at the same point, now it's still a quiet situation. I think I see Bayern signing young players and players they can trust for the future instead of players that maybe are at the end of their career. It's always been Bayern policy, and I think it will remain Bayern policy.
Do you have one transfer in your mind which was the most excited one in the last years? Maybe a transfer where you had the information months or weeks before it got official?
It's about the manager. And it was 1 year ago with Zinedine Zidane leaving Real Madrid. For me, it was incredible because I had this information. It was an exclusive information, and it's Real Madrid, And for me, Real Madrid is the most attractive club in the world because it's crazy the power they have. And it's about Zinedine Zidane, one of the legends of the game as a player, as a manager. And so it was really huge to receive the information on Zinedine Zidane leaving Real Madrid. And so for me, was an incredible moment. I still remember the feeling I had was the best in my life about transfers. And then another one was with Cristiano Ronaldo rejoining Manchester United. It was a crazy moment because the reaction from the fans, imagine he's going to Man City, and so they were really worried on this potential transfer. But then when in 24 hours, Jorge Mendes with Cristiano changed the situation and Cristiano joined Manchester United, was incredible. The feeling was really, really incredible to see Man United fans celebrating on social media like it was a Champions League final. The feeling was like a Champions League final. So incredible, really.
So one last question. How would you describe your job on your own?
For me, it's important to say that it's not just my job. I don't feel like I'm working, and this is really important to me because it's taking like 19, 20 hours of my day, almost always, every single day. So even when the transfer window is closed. And so for me, it's important to enjoy what I'm doing. This is the real mission every single day. I don't want to feel like I'm working today. It's not like that. If it will happen, maybe it's not the best moment for me. But every single day, for me, it's like enjoying what I'm doing because you have to manage a lot of relationships, a big network, a lot of reactions from the fans on social media, positive and negative reactions. So you have many things to manage every single day, in particular informations and calls and messages to people. And so for me, it's important really to enjoy, to have a nice relationship, to be able to manage this relationship in the best way every single day, because it's a stressful job, honestly. It's a fantastic job, let me say. Of course, we're speaking about football transfers, people are happy, and so we are lucky. But at the same point, it's stressful when it takes 19, 20 hours per day. It has to be stressful, but for me, it's beautiful because I'm enjoying it. And so I want to continue like this. I describe my job like the best in the world because it's a fantastic job. It's a fantastic job to work about transfers, to work about football, and to see people excited. Honestly, my favorite part is when I share some story and people react like their team are scoring a fantastic goal in the Champions League final. When I see this kind of reaction, for me, it's like my win. And so I love my job, honestly.
So pure passion.
Yes. Passion always.
So thank you so much for the interview and enjoy your day, Fabrizio. I think you have to go back on the mobile and
yes.
make some tweets, take some goals.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. See you soon. Thank you.